Is your car insurance not worth the paper it's written on? I'm C, and this is Scams, Hacks, and Frauds. It's 2023, and Wayne Simpson of Birmingham, UK, is having a terrible day. He's just gotten involved in his first car accident, aged only 18, and the police have questions. They've checked the UK's national database of insurance policies, called the MID, and there's no record of him having insurance. Wayne knows he's covered. He's even got the paperwork in his glove box to prove it. The police asked to take a look and are satisfied that everything's in order. Sometimes the information in the database is a little out of date, so these things do happen. But after a few months, that would be unusual. When Wayne calls his insurance company, Aviva, he discovered the truth. A couple of months earlier, Wayne had struggled to find insurance. He was, of course, a young driver with no experience, as you'd expect an 18-year-old to be. But he found a deal on social media that was less than half the price he'd seen elsewhere. He'd contacted the advertiser and took out a policy. Wayne was given the documents you'd expect to receive when taking out insurance, including a certificate of insurance, which serves as the legal proof that insurance exists. But when Wayne called Aviva, they'd never heard of him, and the policy didn't exist. Wayne had fallen victim to a ghost broker. He had been driving uninsured, and although he was liable for any damage he caused in the accident, he was fortunate that he wasn't facing prosecution for driving without insurance, which could have resulted in fines, the seizure of his vehicle, or even a ban from driving. These are just some of the serious potential consequences of insurance fraud. An insurance broker is someone you can engage to find and set up insurance for you. They should collect information from you and then do some research to find the right insurance policy for your needs. A ghost broker might sound like something those middling kids from Scooby-Doo might encounter, but the Scooby Gang would be prime targets for ghost brokers. The UK's average insurance price for a new young driver is over £2,700 a year. For comparison, the average for all drivers is about £860 per year, a 300% difference. No wonder that Wayne was tempted by a deal for £560 for 6 months' insurance. Aviva, the company that Wayne thought he had insurance with, estimates that 3 in 10 young drivers buy through a ghost broker, and 89% of those saw serious consequences. Other typical targets include newer immigrants and people who have had difficulties getting insurance because of criminal convictions, bankruptcy, or those who work in high-risk occupations. In Wayne's case, there was no insurance policy. However, the scam can sometimes be more complex. Sometimes the ghost broker will take out a real insurance policy, but use false information to get a cheaper rate. On the 6th of June 2025, Elias and Amir Ralph were convicted of fraud in Leicester for earning over £6,000 from selling invalid insurance policies. The father-son team and Elias' brother Zaid were recruiting young drivers on social media and using fraudulent documents such as fake employment records to obtain cheaper prices from at least 4 insurers. In these situations, the broker's misrepresentation of the policy means it will likely be declared void, which means it will be treated as if it never existed. This is no small matter. Obtaining an insurance policy with information you know to be false is a form of fraud, and, as the Ralphs demonstrate, it can result in a criminal conviction. So what can you do to protect yourself? When shopping for any financial products, make sure you're using reputable sources. Price comparison sites can give you a good picture of what a fair rate is for the insurance that you're looking to take out and provide you with access to insurers you may be unaware of. You can also use that as a springboard to shop further, getting quotes from the insurers they list to see if you can get it cheaper directly. Legitimate brokers are there to understand your unique situation and help you find the right insurance. They can provide you with access to policies that the general public cannot purchase on their own and can help match you with insurers that specialize in handling unusual situations, such as those in certain occupations, those with bankruptcies, and individuals with criminal history. However, if you use a broker, you should check if the broker is legitimate. Real insurers and brokers will not just be available on social media or WhatsApp. They'll have real websites and phone numbers. But don't take the existence of these as proof that someone isn't a ghost broker. A scammer can set up a fraudulent website just as easily as anyone else. If you're in the UK, you can check with the British Insurance Brokers Association or the Financial Conduct Authority. Almost every organisation working in finance in the UK has to be registered with the FCA, whereas membership in the BIBA is voluntary. You'll find those in the show notes or in the description. If you're in the US, your state has a register of brokers with which you can confirm their license. Other countries should have similar regulators that you can check with. Once your insurance is in place, you should also check this for yourself. We've mentioned the UK's motor insurers database, which you can check on the links in the notes. If you're in the US, you'll need to reach out to your state's DMV or equivalent to see if they allow their database to be checked by the public. And if you're in another country, check with the government department responsible for registering your vehicle if this is something that they offer. If you think you've been the victim of a ghost broker, you should contact the authorities. The government bodies we've mentioned earlier for checking a broker are good places to start. If you're in the UK, you can also contact the Insurance Fraud Bureau's cheat line, which we'll also include in the description. With just a few simple checks, you won't need those meddling kids to keep you safe from ghost brokers. I've been C, and this has been Scams, Hacks and Frauds. If you found this helpful, please share it with everyone you know. And leave a comment or review letting us know where you are so we can try to gather some fraud stories from your area. This podcast is available to reuse for free under the Creative Commons with Attribution Share Alike license. The music is not included in this license. For more information on the Creative Commons license, please visit creativecommons.org.